Hello, this is Jenna at Books Love Jenna, as in those books, they just love her. And I am here to invite you to a Zoom conversation on August 30th at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time if you would like to discuss Dorothy Wordsworth. We have Dorothy Wordsworth, or The Ballad of Dorothy Wordsworth, A Life by Frances Wilson. This was our, there's Lily back there. This was our nonfiction read for Books Love Everyone book group for the month of August. And we also read a second nonfiction this month. Usually we read a fiction and a nonfiction, but this time we have a second nonfiction. And these are Dorothy Wordsworth's Alfoxden and Grasmere journals. So if you read either of those or both of those and you would like to meet with a group of fun and feisty human beings to discuss them, and I think there is quite a lot to unpack in Dorothy Wordsworth's life. I learned a lot. If you would like to unpack all of that with us, then you should go to the link tree that is in the description for this video. Click on that. At the top of that link tree, there is a dedicated, or a link to a dedicated email address for this channel. All you have to do to join us on the Zoom is send an email to me at that address saying, hey, I'd love to be included in the Zoom for Dorothy Wordsworth. And you know me by this name on Bookstagram or BookTube, and please send me the link. On the morning of August 30th, you will receive a link to the Zoom call for the month, and all you have to do is log on at 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and we will talk about Dorothy Wordsworth together. Again, I learned a lot. I was surprised by some of what I learned. There's a lot to unpack here. I have read these journals before, and I've read other biographies, but this biography focuses on something that I have not really, that I was aware of, but had not really focused on. And this biography really hones in on that. one possibility. So yeah, this was an experience for me, the picker of the books. I loved being back in these journals though. I always find it fascinating to read other people's journals, particularly journals of people who don't think those journals are going to be read by anybody else. I really find that incredibly enticing and interesting. They move slowly usually, and you're learning a new language because when people are only talking to themselves, they use a shorthand full of symbols and allusions that mean only something to them, really. And I find it fascinating to get to the point where you can kind of decipher that, but also to realize that you're going to hit these roadblocks where you can't decipher what someone actually means by what they are expressing. And that takes me down a long road of thinking about language and expression and perception and how impossible it is for any of us to actually communicate what's going on inside of us to anybody outside of us. We try, but it doesn't land the way that you grew it. You grow it inside you, you toss it out there to the person across from you. And because the person across from you is their own little entity unto themselves, it doesn't land the way you grew it. It may land close, but not exact. And reading other people's journals where they are genuinely talking to themselves, they're not writing for publication, is incredibly fascinating to me. It's incredibly fascinating. I know that there are multiple blocks between me and that individual, but it's the most direct way towards what the individual is that I can think of. So there's a little insight into me, and now I want to get inside everyone's head, heart more. I want to get inside everyone's heart more than their head. The head is a deceptive place. the heart is a little more honest. Anyway, this got way more philosophical than I intended. If you would like to join us to talk about the very real, physical, and tangible life of Dorothy Wordsworth, send me an email, and hope to see you there. Until then, you know. Until then, let's go read.